Dad said, be kind even if you're not feeling it. Maybe especially if you're not feeling it. I'm not married, but honestly when I'm upset with my BF I tell him I love him. It takes the edge of the frustration, anger, and we manage to discuss the issue instead of argue. At my wedding my wife's grandmother offered so funny, weird, solid advice. She said, if you get angry with each other, go to bed naked and see if you can resolve it before you go to sleep. So far, so good. Anniversary on Monday. When I have to talk to my partner about some heavy shit trademark and have time and ability, I will bring it up when we are in the bedroom and I am completely nude. Optics. My grandfather told me, never go to bed with dirty dishes in the sink. What I learned is that he would always help my grandma, and that is when they did their most talking. And it really is the small mundane things that you do for each other, not the bug romantic gestures, that really build a strong marriage. Do the dishes, vacuum or mop the floor when you have some time, clean out and armor all their car. Small dumb things, all the time. The advice I've given people is this. If you can go grocery shopping with your person and have the best time ever, you have yourself a keeper. It's all about making the best of the mundane things, because after years of being together, life becomes predictable. You'll need to keep the spice going, regardless of what you're doing. Source. Married 15 years. My wife rolls her eyes when I say, hey, what flavor Tide Pods should we get? Focus on tackling the problem, not each other. This is a good one. My Phil said something similar on our wedding day. Always remember it's you two against the problem, not you two against each other. It's great advice, especially when we disagree. It's calmed a lot of arguments over the years. When our kid was about to be born, someone told me to change the first diaper. If you can handle the first one, the others will be easy. So I did. I didn't know what I was doing, so I asked the nurse at the hospital to teach me, and I changed the first few diapers while my wife recovered from a difficult labor. The advice was correct. No other diaper was as disgusting as the first one. It got very easy and I never minded doing it, and my wife was really grateful. And I loved that I could take on some of the parenting chores, since there was so much that she was the only one equipped to provide. I got to be quite proud of my diaper changing skills. Rip, wipe, wrap. I could do it in a matter of seconds, unless it was a pretty spectacular poop. I always pictured myself in the pits at a NASCAR race. Hell, I'd offer to change other people's babies just so I could show off. As Rita Rudner said about changing your sew, that pie's baked. If you want a different flavor, get a different pie. Rita has a ton of these truisms that hit home, nearly all involving men and marriage. Another one. Men don't live well by themselves. They don't even live like people. They live like bears with furniture. As a bachelor, can confirm. Marriage is the act of solving as a team problems you didn't have before. To build on this, any problems you have in your dating relationship will be magnified by marriage. Bad with money? Now there's two of you. Worried about infidelity? Marriage is just going to legally bind you to that person. Now you're getting cheated on ***** and ****, they're going to take half your stuff to get rid of them. Sort your shit out while dating. If you can't figure it out then, being contractually bound to another person isn't going to fix it. Don't have too high of expectations. My dad told us that, but we found most of our early fights were when one or the other had unspoken expectations of the other or marriage. It is positively life-changing to be married, and an amazing experience, but still life goes on. Unspoken is the key word here. People have different needs and expectations, and your partner is not a mind reader. Marry him for who he is, not his potential. And let them be the person you love. I have to remind myself of this. I love and trust who he is, so why am I trying to make him more like me sometimes? He'll learn and grow, and so will I. I have to trust that he can do that without my pushing or prodding. There are certain words, certain tone of voice, etc. that you can use on your children, a friend, a subordinate, or even your boss, but which you just shouldn't use on your spouse. Could you expand? Grandma said, love is like coffee. Sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's sweet, sometimes it's bitter. No matter how you like it, it is good. But it's only great when you get it the way you like it. Make sure you get what you want. Darn, I drink tea. My stepmom just passed away, and Dad said something that has profoundly changed my attitude. Greater than the little things that annoyed me are the things I now miss. So, like, yay. For some reason she squeezes a massive glob of toothpaste which mostly falls into the sink basin and she doesn't wash away the toothpaste spit. Fucking annoys me. If, when she's gone, that little constant annoyance that reminds me she's there will be gone too. Don't nag on the little things, rather, embrace them. Still, let her know. She has made progress on other things I've pointed out, as I try to adapt to her wishes. Fuck man, you got me crying in the club RN. Say thank you for day-to-day things, even taking out the trash, sweeping the floor, or folding laundry. Audibly hearing thank you reinforces the feeling of being appreciated. While I was never given this advice, my husband is super on it when it comes to this. I've just taken his cue. We always thank each other when one makes the dinner or whatever chore. It's not something I ever really thought to do before. Moma said, don't come whining to me about your wife. Go talk to her. And don't spend your time complaining to anyone about your so. If you need advice, ask, but no talking down about your so. Chances are they have a long list of complaints too. Sage advice. Always act like it's the last time you'll see them. 'Cause it might be. My mother passed last year at 45 from her second bout with cancer. Middle of the night, my dad said he's glad he stayed up later to spend a few more minutes with her. To tell her he loved her. You never know when you'll never see them again. Also, pride doesn't belong in your marriage. If you have any self-pride, leave it at the door. Both you and your partner serve each other and support each other, each putting the other first, and accept that they are giving it their all even if their all isn't what it was last month. Dude, I came here to get some tips for the future, not cry. Mine is almost the exact opposite. My husband snores really loud. I started sleeping separately and we have a much better relationship now. Probably because I'm not constantly sleep deprived. We both fought it so hard for so long because there is this idea that only unhappy couples sleep apart from each other. The truth is, you've got to do what works for the both of you and not worry about preconceived notions about intimacy, etc. Same, my husband has multiple sleep disorders and I am a very light sleeper. It's a horrible mix. If the one time we don't get along is when we're both unconscious, I take it as a win. My grandmother said have sex often and loudly, tears of joy. But remember to go easy on her, she's over 80. You don't just marry her, you marry her whole damn family. So much this. Before I met my wife, I was in a relationship with, and engaged to, a girl from Argentina whose family may have had ties to certain villainous organizations from WW2. This was problematic because I'm a nice Jewish boy. Never got along with her folks, and had gotten married, it probably would have ended in disaster. After we broke up, I met my wife. Her parents, even though they drive me nuts sometimes, are awesome. They get me. I get them. We see eye to eye on most things including religion and politics, and in a lot of ways I'm closer with my father-in-law than I am with my own father. Having them as in-laws has been excellent, and it's made my life much, much easier. Point being, you abso-fucking-lutely marry the family as well, so choose your in-laws wisely. Everyone gets their own sheets when you sleep. Yep. King-size bed and we each have our own queen comforter, duvet. No blanket hogging and allows us to have different temps. Don't trust everything here. Op says king bed stops children feet to the face. Can confirm, he's wrong there because my kid still does 360 roundhouse kickflips in his sleep in our king bed and I still get the occasional foot to the face. Depends on how big your kid is too. It's very crowded when my 20 and 15-year-olds get scared of thunder. When an argument is brewing, stop and eat something. You may just be hungry. We go by halt. Hungry, angry, lonely, tired. Grab each other's butts as often as possible. Keep the flirtation alive. 100% keep the flirtation alive. But don't be afraid to spice it up. A face caress, a head pat, a fucking nose boop, a quick makeout sesh, you get the idea. Dot. Sometimes even a shoulder squeeze makes me feel really warm and fuzzy inside. One of my colonels told me, just buy 2 damn pizzas, instead of arguing over the toppings. Leftovers are rarely a problem when it comes to pizza. Don't criticize each other's driving, it leads down a dark path. My wife has the perfect rebuttal to any criticism I could ever make about her driving. I'm the one who taught her how to drive. Dot. Luckily I've been smart enough to never give her a reason to use it. I got 2 king beds pushed together. Mega bed. I got a very bad back and am 6 feet 8 inches, so I need my space when I sleep. You guys sleep in the fucking living room? Jesus, your bedroom must be massive. Looks fade. Marry someone who you enjoy talking to. Grandma. I also feel strongly about this one. Dot. Find someone who is okay with you both having separate hobbies. My wife does her thing and I have my hobby. We share some hobbies, but we are okay with spending time apart too. We don't have to always do them together. I couldn't imagine marrying a woman who needed to do every single thing I did just to be around me. She needs to have her own life and I love not forcing her into the nerdy stuff I enjoy. Very good advice. My parents have been married for over 50 years and they abide by both of these. Be able to chat endlessly about stuff. Share a few hobbies but have individual hobbies too in order to stay out of each other's hair.